Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. As usual, before we start our lesson, kita ni akan mulakan dengan berselawat ke atas Rasulullah SAW selama 2 minit. Mari kita ni sama-sama membaca 3 niat penting sebelum memulakan selawat ke atas Rasulullah SAW. Yang pertama, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Yang kedua, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Dan yang ketiga, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah di akhirat kelak. 2 minutes from now.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد. 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 اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد.
Doa sebelum belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma aftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min hazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, bukakanlah ke atas kami hikmat-hikmatmu dan limpahilah ke atas kami khazanah rahmatmu. Wahai yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang.
Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah untukku dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku, dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku, supaya mereka mengerti perkataanku.
Amin.
Amin, amin, amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. In this session, we will discuss about areas of sectors and lengths of arc. So can you please get ready with your notes, page 60 until 65, and your worksheet, page 53 until 56. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to see sectors and lengths of arcs as fraction of circles. And actually, sectors and lengths of arcs is part of the circle. Second, solve problems involving areas of sectors and lengths of arc. Steps to success, S to achieve our objective. First, you need to apply this formula of circle, area of circle, A equal to pi r square, to find the area of sector. Okay, and then you need to apply the formula of circumference, C equal to 2 pi r, to find the length of arc. You need to use the correct formula, otherwise you will get the answer incorrect. Okay, and lastly, you need to solve the questions given correctly. Mentioned earlier, area of sectors is actually part of the circle. Okay, sectors is actually part of circle, and you need to make sure sector means an area cut off by two radii. Okay, it must start from the center. And here will be the formula. You can choose whichever method that you're going to apply to solve the questions. Okay, and you need to be flexible. You need to be flexible in answering the questions. Sometimes method 1 is more applicable to use to solve the questions. Sometimes method 2 or method 3. Method 3 is usually when we got the sectors in terms of quarter, semicircles, things like that. Okay, and most of the time, personally, I will use method 2 to approach the questions, okay, to answer the questions. Method 2, area of sector equal to theta out of 360 times pi r squared, this one. Okay, most of the time I will use this formula to solve the problems. Let us proceed with example 9. Find the area of the sectors formed by angle UTB. Okay, so UTB. Therefore, the angle is 7T. Alright, now here we will discuss two methods. The first one, by using this method, area of sector angle UTB is still unknown, and the theta we change into 70. Theta is used to represent the unknown angle. Okay, so we know that angle is 70, so you need to substitute 70 into theta. Now we proceed, and here the unknown will be area of sector angle UTV, and when we do the cross multiplication, and you should get 39 to the nearest whole number. Okay, now method 2, we'll use this method. You need to substitute 70 into that theta, and 5 times 8 times 8, you just need to take your calculator and calculate the value, and you should get 39 to the nearest whole number. Alright, the concept here is you need to know your algebra. Okay, once you know your algebra, you know which part you're going to evaluate, and you'll be survive in any topics that involve formula. Okay, please remember that one. Now we continue with example 10. Find the area of the sector that is outlined with the bold line. Okay, the thick black here, bold one. Alright, and then you need to take pi equal to 3.14, and you need to round off your answer to 1 dp, 1 decimal place. You need to follow the instruction. Okay, and I will give you 2 minutes to answer this example 10, 2 minutes from now. 1 minute left. Okay, now solution. I will use this method, area of sector equal to theta out of 360 times pi r square. And then you just need to substitute whatever value given. You are given theta, you are given radius, and you just need to substitute all of the values given like this. And then remember, you need to use 3.14. And then once you got all the values here, then you take your calculator and you calculate. You should get 316.6167. And here you need to round off your answer to 1 dp. So you need to round off this value and you should get 316.6. Why 6 here? Because round down. Okay. The value next to 6 is 1, so round down, and your final answer should be 316.6. Next, as I mentioned earlier, when the sectors is in terms of semicircle or quadrant, it is better for you to use the method 3. Okay, for semicircle here, your sector will be half times with the area of circle. Pi r square is the area of circle. Alright, so half times pi r square. And if it is a quadrant, as you know that quadrant is 1/4, so you need to just put that 1/4 in front times with the formula of circles. Therefore, your area for quadrant will be 1/4 times pi r square. Next, example 11. Find the area of the sector which has an 180 degrees angle to 1 dp, 1 decimal place. Okay, now, here we have a semicircle in this example 11. So if it is a straight line, of course, we know that it is 180 degrees, alright? And the solution for this example 11, you are given two methods. For method 1, so area of sector equal to half. Why half? Because it is a semicircle. So half times the area of circle pi r square, and you just need to substitute 4 into r. It become half times pi times 4 times 4, and you take your calculator and you calculate the value. You should get 25.13274. And remember, you need to round off your answer into 1 dp. Therefore, your final answer should be 25.1 square centimeter. Okay. Now, method 2, we know that when it is a straight line here, the angle should be 180. Okay, you substitute 180 into this theta and calculate the value. You should get 25.13274, round off to 1 dp, and your final answer should be 25.1 square centimeter. Okay, you just need to focus with the area. Focus with the area, you know to substitute the value, and you will survive. Okay, please remember that one. That is the key to solve problems that involve formula, okay, your algebra. Moving on with example 12, shown is a semicircle, and here you are given the diameter 10 centimeter. Work out the area of the semicircle, and you need to leave your answer in terms of pi. So your answer should have pi, okay? Do not solve that pi. Now, I will give you 2 minutes to try. One minute left. Okay, now the solution. Since here it is a semicircle, so I put half in front of the area of circle. This one. Okay, so half times pi r square. And please remember pi r square is the area of circle, the whole circle. Alright, and then you substitute 5 into the radius, so half times 5 times 5, and you just leave that pi, and you should get 25 out of 2 pi. Don't leave your answer like this. You need to change it into mixed number, or you can change it into decimal like this, okay? So your final answer should be 12.5 pi. Next, example 13, you need to calculate the shaded area, and you need to give your answer to the nearest whole number, okay? And the shaded area will be the semicircle, but in this semicircle we have 4 identical circles, okay, which is unshaded. So how are you going to solve this example 13? All right, and to get the shaded area, I will give you 2 minutes to try. 2 minutes from now. 1 minute left. Okay, now solution. Step 1, you need to find the area of semicircle. So half times pi r square, half times pi times 8 times 8, and you should get 100.53. And then do not round off to the nearest whole number first before you get the final answer. Okay, because we need this answer to calculate the shaded area later on. Okay, so just keep it to decimal places like this, right? And then you need to find the area of the 4 small circles. So I put 4 here. So we need to find the 4 small circles in one step. So 4 bracket by r square, and then pi times 1 times 1 times with 4, and you should get 4 pi, and once you calculate 4 times pi, you will get 12.566. And then moving on with the final step, you need to get the shaded area. So shaded area equal to 100.53 from your step 1 minus with 12.566 from your step 2. Okay, and then you will get 87.964. And remember, you need to give your answer to the nearest whole number. So your final step, you need to round off your answer to the nearest whole number, and your final answer should be 88. Okay, moving on with example 14, and here we have a quadrant. So with the radius of 4 meter, find the area of sector, and you need to give your answer to three significant figure, and I will give you 2 minutes to try. One minute left. Okay, now solution. For the quadrant, you just need to change in front the fraction into quarter. Okay, quarter of your area of circle. Right? Remember, area of sector it's relate to area of circle. Area of sector is part of a circle. Okay, area of circle. Remember that one. So 1/4 times pi r square, and substitute 4 into that r, and then you should get 12.566. Remember, you need to give your final answer to 3 significant figure. Therefore, your final answer is 12.6. Why 6? Because round up. Okay, so your final answer is 12.6. Proceed with example 15. These two sectors have the same area. James says x is 2 centimeter. This one is x, okay? And both of these diagrams are sectors. Whenever you see a diagram, both of the circle, we call it sector, okay? So this is, I will call this diagram 1 and this is diagram 2, okay? Both of these diagrams are sectors, alright? And they have same area. And then James says this x is 2. So we need to prove that James is correct or not. Okay. You need to show all of your workings. You need to show all of your workings. There is no such mental calculation here. You need to list down all of your workings from step 1 until your final step. Okay. So I will give you 2 minutes to try these questions. 2 minutes from now. One minute left. Okay, now solution. For step 1, you need to find the area of complete information diagram. So for diagram 1 and diagram 2, you look for complete information. And as we can see here, diagram 1 have complete information. We have the angle, we have the radius. So we will find the area of this diagram 1. Okay. So theta out of 360 times pi r square. So 10 out of 360 times pi times 48 times 48. And you should get 201.0619. Okay. And then this statement say both of the sectors have the same area. So we will use this area. We will substitute. Okay, we will substitute this area to get that x. Okay, now repeat the same thing, change the theta into 240, and then substitute that a equal to 201.0619. So when you simplify this one, 240 out of 360 times pi, you should get 2.0944. So just keep that x squared at the end of the step here. Alright, then you remove this 2.0944 from x squared, so divide both sides by 2.0944, and you should get x squared equal to 95.9998. And remember, we want to get x, not x squared. So how are you going to remove square? Change into how are you going to remove this square? Once we want to remove the square, we need to add square root on the other side. Okay, so like this. So x square is removed here, and we need to add square root on the other side. So square root 95.998, and you should get x equal to 9.7979. Now, do you think James is correct? The answer is no. Now, we continue with length of arcs, and when we talk about length of arcs, remember it is different from area of sector. When we talk about area of sector, we focus with the formula of area of circle, okay, which is pi r square. But for length of arcs, we focus with the circumference, okay. Circumference that you already learned during your year 7. So you need to recall that information, recall that knowledge to solve this length of arcs. Okay, now arc is the outline of the circle. Okay, arc is the outline of the circle, and arc is a part of the circumference of a circle. You know that circumference is the outline of the circle, and arc is part of it. All right, and here you have 3 methods also, so you need to use the method whenever it is applicable for that questions. Okay, sometimes method 1 is easier to use to solve the questions, sometimes method 2, and sometimes method 3. Method 3 usually when we have quarter, when we have semicircles, things like that. Okay, but most of the time I will use this method 2. Alright, and remember, for length of arc, focus here, it must be 2 pi r. Remember that one. Okay, now we proceed with example 16. Calculate the arc length to 2 decimal places. Now, as you can see here, it is a quadrant. Okay, and when it is a quadrant, when we use angles, and the angle should be 90 degrees. Okay, so we will use the quadrant here. 1/4 of the circumference of a circle, so 1/4 times 2 pi r. Be careful here, I repeat myself, you need to be clear and focus. Right now we are doing length of arc. Okay, so length of arc, it relates to circumference of the circle, and the formula is 2 pi r. Remember this one, and you substitute r 5 into this r, so you will get this, and you should get 7.85398, and you need to give your answer to 2 decimal places. Therefore your final answer is 7.85 square centimeter. Okay, just focus, read the question carefully, and you will survive with this topic. Okay, next, example 17. Calculate the minor arc length to 1 dp. Okay, now the minor arc length will be this one. right? So 144 degrees. Now, here I will show you two methods. So method 1, we'll use this one. Arc length of AB equal to the circumference of the circles. Okay, so theta and the total is 360, and the denominator will be the total. Okay, 2 pi r is the total for the whole circumference. 360 is the total for one circle. Okay, so 2 pi r, you just substitute 3.5 into that r and substitute theta 144, and you do the cross multiplication. Arc length of AB will be 8.796. Okay, now you need to run off to 1 dp, so your final answer is 8.8 centimeter. Method 2, I will use this one. Okay, so 144 divided by 360 times 2 times pi times 3.5, the radius. So you will get 8.8 centimeter also. Okay, so arc length of AB is this one. Okay, so A, B. Alright. Okay. Example 18. Calculate the major arc length to 1 decimal place. Okay, so the major arc will be the one with large angles. Okay, the one with large angles. So which one will be the major arc? You try first 2 minutes from now. One minute left. Okay, now the major arc, the angle for major arc will be 250, this one. Okay, so we repeat with the same formula. Length of major arc equal to theta out of 360 times 2 pi r. Remember, length of arc is part of circumference, so here should be 2 pi r. Okay, you substitute theta 250 and the radius will be 6, and then you solve, you should get 26.1799. And remember, you need to round off to 1 decimal place, so your final answer should be 26.2. Alright, so your final answer is 26.2. Next, example 19, the last example before we stop. When the minute hand of a clock moves an angle of 45 degrees, its tip traces an arc of length 11 centimeter. What is the length of the minute hands? Okay, so the arc length will be here 11 centimeter. Alright, and you need to find the length of the minute hand, and the minute hand will be this one. Okay, and here the difference of this example 19 from the other example, your arc length is given and your radius is missing. So here will be your radius. How we know that it is a radius? We start from the center to the outline of the arc. Okay, so I will give you 2 minutes to try this one. Okay, this one will be the R. So 2 minutes from now. One minute left. Okay, now we use the formula length of arc equal to theta out of 360 times 2 pi r, and you substitute the length of arc and also the theta, and you simplify this one, 45 out of 360 times 2 pi, and you should get 11 equal to 0.7854. Okay, and we need to remove this 0.7854 from our side. So both of the side you should divide by 0.7854. Okay, and then your radius will be 14, and here I keep the answer to the nearest whole number, therefore your answer will be 14. As a summary, this will be the formula that you can use to find the area of sector and arc length. Okay, and remember, for area of sector, it is a part of a circle, and it is a slice of area of circles. So here you must use pi r square. Pi r square is the formula of a circle. Okay, and for arc length, it is the outline of the circle. So we use 2 pi r here because arc length is part of the circumference. Okay, so theta out of 360 times 2 pi r. Okay, be careful with this part. Right, and that will be the last part for our lesson. Don't forget to complete your notes and your worksheet. And as usual, we will end our lesson by reciting dua. Thank you so much, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Doa selepas belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni astaudi'uka ma 'allamtani fardudhu ilayya inda hajati ilaihi wala tansani ya rabbal alamin. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya aku menitipkan padamu ilmu-ilmu yang telah engkau ajarkan kepadaku, dan kembalikanlah kepadaku sewaktu aku memerlukannya kembali. Dan janganlah engkau lupakan aku kepada ilmu itu, wahai Tuhan yang memiliki semesta alam. Amin.